Hey, welcome to another episode of Overtime. Jason Overman here as always. Today we're going to be showing you how we mounted our trolling motor, including the plug, quick attach plate, and the battery setup for our 24-foot Ultra Elite Carolina Skiff. Let's get started. We have chose to go our trolling motor over onto the right hand side. I chose the right hand side simply because the factory wiring is right over here. So we used the C brackets 16-inch plate, because if you notice, this last bolt here is off of the bow. I wanted to be sure my motor had plenty of clearance so it wasn't bumping the front of the boat. So that's what we chose. We brought the appropriate Minn Kota brand bracket for your quick attach. We also went with a 70 amp. It's the MKR 28, I believe, Minn Kota plug. With the way that this plate's mounted, I got 3/16 stainless screws. The ones that came with it were black headed, which I didn't like, but they were also 3 inches long. You only need 2-inch long screws to get through this top of the bow here. So 3/16, or they're 1/4-20s by 2-inch long. Always be sure when you've got stainless hardware such as this to use anti-seize, so you can get these things back off. And where this plate's mounted, there is no modifications needed. I didn't have to cut anything inside my anchor locker. I could get to all of this. The only thing I did have to do was drill a hole for the wire to get back down to the factory connections. I did end up using 6 bolts. I chose to keep my cord as short as possible. I made my joints up inside of the actual trolling motor, so there's no exposed joints. And I really like this 70 amp plug. It's got plenty of connection for power, plus it's waterproof. When you remove the trolling motor, there is a waterproof cap that goes here to keep your connections dry and corrosion free. So the factory plug is a 4-wire plug. It's 12/24 volt is what it's made for. My windlass anchor utilizes 2 of the wires. Carolina Skiff runs 4 wires, 6 gauge copper wires, all the way from the rear of the boat up to this plug. So I had 2 wires left over that I utilized for my 36 volt plug. The other 2 I have here if I wanted to connect something such as a fish finder independently, but 2 wires are utilized for the windlass. For my stabilizer bar, I went with a Mangrove Products stabilizer. Simply squeeze the back side here. It folds up for when it's in use. Folds back down to keep the trolling motor from bouncing so much of rough current. This thing adjusts from 7.5 to 9.5 inches. I'm at 8.5, so it was absolutely perfect for my setup. I got this from Mangrove Products. The quick attach plate, the aluminum 1/2-inch plate, and the trolling motor plug came from Hodges Marine. None of these companies I'm promoted by. I'm just telling you where I got the products. So, and that they came in a timely manner. I have no complaints. I'll give you one more shot under here though. You can see both of my screws for my quick attach plate are off the bow of the boat. So without this steel plate, my trolling motor would just would not fit in the manner that it's fitting. So as you can see, the way I have it mounted, it does not interfere with the front bow seating. It's just beside of it. Alright, so with our 36 volt trolling motor, we are going with lithium. This is something new to me, but 36 volt 100 amp hours what we're going with. But my biggest issue was I could not find a battery tray. I could get some metal ones made, but I really didn't want a metal battery tray. I just wanted some plastic. Don't have to worry about corrosion back there in the area. So let me show you what I came up with to fix this problem. So what we have here is two Group 24 battery trays. Bought them off Amazon. They each came with a strap, which the straps are not long enough to go around the new 36 volt battery. This thing's a hoss. But if you turn them sideways, you can see here I simply just nipped the end out with the multi-tool. And then, so I got my battery measurements. I believe I'm going to shoot the measurement here real quick. I don't want to be lying to you. I like to be as informative as possible. Alright, so mine these are 3 3/4 inches long. So I'm going to bolt these down into the back of the boat to hold my strap down. So I've got some way to keep my boat battery strapped down. There was just a smidge of extra room on each side of the battery, so I used some of my boat flooring that I had left over from another project. Put a piece on each side, give it a little cushion, so you can see this will fit perfectly in here. Now I cut these 3 3/4 because I'm going to have to put this in the back of the boat in 4 pieces. But these things are cut so that if I keep everything nice and tight as I screw it together, the battery will fit. Just to making it easy. Now you need to measure your battery. Not all these batteries are the same size, so that number is not going to be good for everyone because these trays are possibly made different. But I specifically made it so when I pick that battery up and this is screwed down, everything touching, it fits perfect. So that was a piece of the puzzle there that really slowed me down in this project. But we've got it sorted out, so we're ready to put these trays into the boat. Alright, so as we discussed, here is my battery box. You can see my pieces in between for my straps. You have to be cautious. You see that drain right over there? You got to stay so the battery doesn't hit that. Just one little tip. The battery will not go in this hole. It's just too big. So we're going in back here, and we have to remove one of our batteries. We're going to go in that. I'm assuming, I guess your factory installer of the engine could have put your cranking batteries here. This is the way mine's set up. I'm putting my trolling motor battery here. 10-year warranty. I sure hope it makes it 10 years because I do not want to have to replace this thing. Let's try it. Well, all I can tell you is if it's any bigger than the 36 volt 100 amp, this thing is a Enjoy BOT. Now, if it's any bigger than that battery, I don't think it's gonna go. Oh wow, that's tight. But the reason I chose this battery is because a friend of mine at the Wildlife Club, he's had them for like 3 years in his John boat. They do battery only tournaments, so he hadn't had any trouble out of his. So you know, that's the best review I can get. It's not like Interstate or somebody makes these batteries at a reasonable price. So we're gonna give this Enjoy bot a try. But anyway, we've got it in. Now it's time to wire it up. Whew. We got our battery connected. We put us a circuit breaker right over there with an on-off switch built into it. Ready to roll. And there we have it. Thank y'all for tuning in for another video from Overtime. If you like our stuff, like and subscribe. Got lots of cooking videos. Just really anything that we're building or working on, we'll make a video of it. Love to share what we're doing. And we sometimes we do a little overkill, but we try to do it right. Not everybody thinks so, but hey, tune in if you like us. Thank you.